Good morning, everyone. So today I actually want to talk about access. Okay, like access. What do you mean by access? Well, um, I had a dream last night, and in this dream, um, I was with my family, and and if anybody knows me, knows that God speaks to me in my dreams a lot. I He does. Okay, that's just one of the gifts that he's given unto me. Okay, so it was a dream with my family, and we're laughing and joking. And I'm just going to speed up, not going to tell you all the minute things to you that are big to me. But anyway, so my niece was like, Sophia, come over to the window and look, there's people outside. And I'm like, what do you mean there's people outside? She's like, there's police outside. It looked like they're looking for somebody. So I'm like, what? So I went to the window and I'm looking outside. It's all these police cars. And then I see them going to different houses. It was like nighttime. They had their flashlights. And then somebody started tugging on the door. And I'm like, well, if it's the police, just go ahead and let them in. So I went and I didn't open the door. I just unlocked the door. And it was not the police. It was the person that they were looking for. And my children were there, and I sat down because I'm like, okay, we're at a place to where we're vulnerable. Everybody's vulnerable. In the dream, it was like fight or flight, and I did not fight. I sat down. He was carrying. And then he looked at the wall, and all of my accolades were on the wall, and then it had my ordination papers on the wall. And then he said, okay, which one of you is a minister? And I looked around at all of my children, and I smiled. And I looked over at my niece, and I smiled. And I looked at him, and I said, I am the minister. And he upped his firearm. And in that moment, only thing I did was pray. I prayed for my children. I prayed for my niece. I prayed that God would strengthen them and give them peace. And that was the end of the dream, me ending in prayer. And when I woke up this morning after that dream, I said, okay, God, what is it that you're talking to me about? What is it that you need me to know? And he said, access. Everybody shouldn't have access to your mind, your body, your spirit, your heart. No one should have overall access to you. Okay. So growing up for me, I was very naive. Okay. Very, very naive. I honestly believed that everyone deserved a chance to be in your life in some type of capacity. And that was very immature for me. Now I realize that people can have access, just not unlimited access, and that's with life experiences. As you grow and get wiser, you'll understand that. So, what is access? To me, access is permission. You are allowing someone to come into your life, your thoughts, your emotions, your vulnerability, your time, your energy, and resources. And the truth is, everyone who walks with you, they should not have every part of you. Okay. And that's why discernment matters so much when we talk about having access in that dream. Even though I didn't open the door, I unlocked the door. Okay. And sometimes we think that people are on the up and up, and we think that they are who they say they are, and we're like, oh, they're not too bad, she's not that bad, he's not that bad. But we need discernment. Because if we don't discern who a person is, we can end up handing the keys to people who were only meant to stand at the door. And the Bible is clear. Patterns do matter. A manipulator will always manipulate. A liar will always lie. A thief will always steal. Not because you're too guarded, but because that's what their character produces when they're given room. And when you give access to the wrong people, it comes at a cost. I am a true witness of this. That's part of my testament. Okay? Your morals and values start shifting to fit their narrative. Your time gets drained, your peace gets stolen, your finances get strained, your mind gets noisy, and your spirit gets heavy. And the heaviness sometimes is not even your heaviness, it's not even your burdens, it's their burdens, the things that they're carrying. That's why God tells us not just to be nice, but to be wise. He says, um, put on the full armor of God so that we can stand against the devil's schemes. That's Ephesians 6 and 11. And when we talk about schemes, that means strategies, the setups, the traps, the patterns. And a lot of those schemes don't come looking like it's bad. They come looking like opportunity, friendship, love, support, or just let me explain. I didn't mean to do it that way. I didn't mean. It's not about living paranoid, it's about living protected. The armor helps us set boundaries without guilt and standards without apology. And here's how each piece of the armor restricts access, okay? The belt of truth, it restricts access to manipulators who thrive on confusion. The truth keeps you grounded. It helps you recognize the inconsistencies, the double talk, the fast talkers, the confusion. And when you wear truth, you stop letting people talk to you or talk you out of what you saw, what you heard, and what you know God showed you. A lot of times when we're talking about the truth, man, it's females. I can only speak as a female narrative. I'm sure men have their own, but we talk about those red flags. And we can see those things. And yet we will still move forward, and it's like it was a red flag. Why did you do that? Why did you continue to move when God was clearly saying stop, halt, don't go? There's an X right there. Because at times we want what we want, and sometimes it's costly when that happens. The next is the breastplate of righteousness. Righteousness restricts access to people who benefit from you abandoning your standards. The breastplate of righteousness guards your heart, your motives, your integrity, who you are, your identity. When your heart is protected, you stop making decisions from loneliness, from guilt, or the need to be chosen. I used to be a pick me. Can you believe that? I can. I wanted to please everybody. But I learned as I got older who I am, who I was. Okay? Shoes of peace. Peace restricts access to chaos, to drama, and constant emotional instability. It's not just a feeling. Peace is not just a feeling, it's a direction. Peace helps you walk away sooner. And if someone requires you to lose your peace to keep them, that relationship is already too expensive. It's already too much. The shield of faith. Faith restricts access to voices that try to talk you out of God's truth. Faith blocks doubt, fear, intimidation, and the lies that make you second guess yourself. Faith reminds you, I don't need to force anything. God will confirm what's for me. The helmet of salvation protects, or restricts rather, access to mental warfare and emotional control. The helmet of salvation protects your mind, your thoughts, identity, and self-worth. A guarded mind, a protected mind doesn't fall for the you're too much, you're not enough, or nobody will love you like I do. That's manipulation. That's confusion. And we know confusion does not come from God. The sword of the Spirit is the word of God. The word restricts access by exposing what's hidden. This is how you cut through the lies, the deception. The word gives you language for what your spirit is sensing. You stop explaining yourself. You stop doing it because the word makes things plain. And then the passage closes with prayer because prayer is how you stay alert, clean, and led. Prayer keeps you from giving access based on emotions instead of instruction. So when I go back to that dream and I think about what God was telling me, what He was showing me, stop letting people in your life. Stop letting people have control. Stop bringing in people who were never meant to be there. People who are only supposed to stand at the door. And when you stop giving people access to you in that manner, man, life will be so much easier. That's why it's important to know who you are, know who you belong to, and know your purpose. Discern. We discern, we live, and we learn. God bless you.